Hey again, everyone. It's my final finds of 2022 video. I haven't done one of these in, geez, a couple months or something. And I have a lot of stuff that I've received from people and stuff that I've purchased that I haven't shown yet. And so I have this stack of vinyl, CDs, tapes, and other things in there. Oh, I got to show you, and I got to do some needle drops. So let's check it out. Okay, everybody, I'm going to go through these as quickly as possible, starting with CDs. This is my friends SoapGirls. If you haven't seen, there are some videos that I mentioned the SoapGirls on my channel. There's one in particular where they invaded my home this year in 2022, and they're great. I just met them. I consider them friends. They're from South Africa. They have a very interesting story behind them. They used to sell soap that their mother made. They sold it on the streets of South Africa when they were kids. They got a record deal. As a pop band, they got out of the record deal. They weren't happy with being a pop band. They turned into a very cool rock and roll band and started putting out all their own releases. Now, I've got their latest release, which I don't have here. I've already shown that on a video. It's called In My Skin. That came out this year in 2022. This is all the rest of the stuff that I could get from them on their website. So this is the SoapGirls Call for Rebellion. It's their 2015 album. And you see they graciously signed it for me. You'll be hearing some of that, and you'll be hearing most everything that I show. You'll be hearing a little bit of it later. Now here's Society's Rejects album. This came out in 2017. Great album there. This is the next album they put out, Elephant in the Room. It's a 2 CD set. This came out in 2019. And they always sign stuff for me. They're so cool. Now, this thing isn't even on Discogs. It's a single from their latest album, In My Skin, and the single's called Breathe. CD single. It's not listed anywhere. I don't know how many were made or how rare it is, but they were kind enough to send this to me. I'm really appreciative to my friends SoapGirls. They will be touring the U.S. and other parts of the world 2023. They're going to be back in my house, I'm sure of it, so I'll keep you posted on that. Now, some CDs I got at the Devo Fan Convention this year. This is a band called Morgan Precum, and this is their album that came out in 2022. Like I said, just got it at Devotional. There they are. They're pretty weird, very weird, in fact, and you're going to hear some of this later, so stay tuned for that. Another thing I got at Devotional, a gift from some friends of mine. This is a band called Cyberchump. It's kind of electronic, almost ambient, kind of beat driven. This I think came out in 2022, if I'm not mistaken. This is a friend of mine named Mark G.E. He is also in a band called Exposed Foreheads, which I have some of their stuff. And yeah, this is electronic, and I will let you hear some of that later. Another thing I got at Devotional, this is Fight Milk, a favorite performer at Devotional for some years. This is his latest. This is called Fight Milk, and it's a CD of several songs, electronic, Devo-inspired, but not exactly sounding like Devo. Really great stuff. Typically a one-man band. When he performs live, he does sometimes have 2 or 3 other people with him. Great stuff. Fight Milk, you'll be hearing some of that later. Now, Chumbawamba. Everybody knows that Tub Thumpers song, when I'll get down, I'll get up again. You know, I've always known that. I've never known anything else about Chumbawamba, but this CD here is something that a Devo fan gave me, and they said, look, you have to look into this. They're much more than that song, Tub Thumper. This is a CD called Anarchy. This came out in, when did this come out? Oh yeah, 1994. Okay, you're gonna hear a little bit off this later, and other Chumbawamba stuff that I have from this Devo fan on vinyl is even more interesting. So stay tuned for that. Now, Electric Frankenstein. This is a gift from a friend of mine who now plays with this band. My friend Edward. He gave me this. Electric Frankenstein's punk rock band. I've heard their name for years and years. Never really heard their stuff. This is their album that came out in 1997. This is a 2000 reissue of it called 6 Songs, and you'll be hearing some of that in a little bit. Now, this is a band I discovered. I've heard of them for years, the Donnas, right? This was their 2002 Spend the Night album. I never really bothered to listen to them until recently when I found this at a thrift store. And I really dig this album. I really like it, the whole thing. So I'll be playing a little bit of this for you later, as we call them here, laser drops on the CDs. Now, let's move over to a couple of tapes I got recently. This John Lee Hooker tape is a gift from my friend here in Raleigh. His name is Andy Freeburn, and he thought this was an important thing for me to have, and I agree. I love John Lee Hooker. I love some old blues. This is Boom Boom and other classics, and a nice addition to my collection, which I will be checking out soon. And now this tape right here is a gift from my friend Tim Nolan, who is also my head moderator here on the live streams. My longest living friend, everybody. I've known him since I was a wee lad, little kid. We used to air guitar to Kiss in Ohio. Anyway, he gave me this for my birthday this year. And this is pretty, look, I love Asia. Asia, you know, of course, features members of Yes and King Crimson and the Buggles. And I've always loved Asia. And this is their debut album, which came out in 1982. And it's on reel to reel. Look at that. I have a very small reel to reel collection. I probably have certainly less than 10 reel to reels in my collection. And at least 3 or 4 of them are gifts from Tim. And much appreciated. This is not a cheap item if you wanted to buy it, for sure. This is probably a couple $100 I'm holding in my hand here. Excellent, though. Excellent album. I cannot play this for you because I don't have a working reel-to-reel right now, but I love it. I cherish it. And Tim Nolan, my friend, has the largest reel-to-reel collection that I know of in the world. He did a couple of videos on his channel. You should check them out. But if I remember, I'll put links to them in this description of the video. But anyway, there is a really cool addition to the collection there, the Asia reel. I mean, wow, that is fantastic stuff right there. Now, moving on, I'm going to show you one thing that doesn't fit with all the rest of the stuff. It's a book that I got. And this is also a gift from Devotional. A friend of mine named Rob showed up with a friend of his, and his friend was named Harold O. Harold O was also in the band DRI for years. But Harold O has a history with California metal, thrash, the thrash scene, Metallica, Megadeth, Slayer. He hung out with all those guys when they were just starting out, and he just took a lot of pictures. And so this book goes through the pictures he took, and there he is. He was at Devotional with my friend Rob, and he was having a good time at Devotional, and he gave me this this book. There you see XDRI, Harold O, and it was really cool to give me this. I really appreciate stuff like this. This is mostly behind the scenes stuff, backstage, a lot of live stuff too. But look at those just candid shots of those little kids starting their life-changing band. You know, they changed not only their lives but a lot of people's lives, and that's because they went ahead and did what they felt they had to do, and they played in a rock and roll band. So anyway, this goes on and on. Look. See the guy in the Devo shirt here? He's posed with members of Slayer, Exodus, Possessed, Suicidal Tendencies. That guy there, and I can't remember his name. It's probably listed here somewhere. But anyway, wait, Doug Goodman. Maybe it's Doug. But anyway, this guy was a Devo tour manager in the last 10 years, I think. And just for one or two shows, or a brief time. But when he told me he was the guy wearing the Devo shirt in this classic candid heavy metal photo, I about shit my pants. So that's really cool. And you can see more of this book yourself. It's available still. This came out in 2012, I believe, but really nice hardcover. And again, by Harold O. and Brian Liu, photographers of the rock scene. Okay, check it out. Now, let's move on to vinyl. Everybody's favorite here on the YouTubes. I'm going to start out with a couple of gifts I got from a guy in Finland. Now, he sent me a package, and he says here, Dear Mr. Pilmer, I'm a fan of your YouTube channel, having found out about it by a fluke. I'm glad I did. I enjoy most of it, certainly the cassette tape hauls. As your address is clearly visible on these packages you get, I've sent a couple of records, my band, and whatever. So his band is Lorsen. And he sent this single, and this came out in 2019. Again, he's from Finland, very kind of DIY, homegrown looking. And this flexi disc that came out in 2015, Lorsen. It's pretty experimental, from what I've been told. We're going to hear it later, so stick around to hear that cool stuff. Next up, my boys, ANTiSEEN, a picture disc I received recently. This is a 2015 release that was reissued on picture disc this year. I think it's kind of hard to find. It's got ANTiSEEN doing Fight Like Apes and a split with Sloppy Seconds. So I'm going to play some of this for you later. But yeah, ANTiSEEN changed my life in big ways when I was a child. And speaking of ANTiSEEN, Mad Brother Ward, who played in ANTiSEEN for years, also worked with ANTiSEEN before he played in the band. He was selling their merch. He was just like big fan and friend of the band. He's done his own stuff over the years. And this is his latest single, I believe, called Ugly Life. It came out in 2022 on the Ruined Records label. And Ruined Records was really kind enough to send me this. We're going to hear some of this later. It's on the nice blue vinyl there. Mad Brother Ward, friend of mine, and should be a friend of yours. Really smart guy and likes some great music. And there he is. And we're going to hear that later as well. Now, more gifts. I got this at Devotional. Somebody handed this to me. It's a grindcore band called Crusade. This came out in 2018. Well, maybe it's considered crust punk. Crust punk, grindcore, hardcore. It's something like that. And it is check this out. It's live at the Guild, 1993. It's a flexi. Look at that. Okay, a flexi disc. We're going to hear that later as well. A very kind gift. It's Japancore. Maybe that's the genre. Okay, anyway, there you have it. We'll be hearing that later. And now another gift. I got this from my good friend who often meets me at rock shows. And his name is Sean. And he gave me this Nomos album, or 7-inch rather. And this is a limited edition of 100, a 2020 pressing with this red cover. I think most of them have a black cover. So we are going to hear this atrocity today as well. I'll give you some needle drops on that. Now, moving off to the bigger records. Chumbawamba. Now, this is their 1986 album called Pictures of Starving Children Sell Records, yada, yada, yada. This has some of the best Chumbawamba stuff I've ever heard on it. Totally blew my mind. Again, most people are only familiar with Tub Thumper, that song that they had a big hit with. But this stuff here, there's at least 2 or 3 songs on here I think that are going to blow your mind. So we're going to let you hear that later. This is also a gift from a Devo fan. Awesome guy who I met recently in LA with his wife, Paul and Nicole. Thank you for this here. And the rest of the stuff you've sent me. He also sent me the Chumbawamba CD and another Chumbawamba record I'm getting ready to show you right now. Hold on a second. Here it is. Now this, that first one was in 86. This came out in 92. This is called Someone's Always Telling You How to Behave. I think this is considered a 12-inch single, if I'm not mistaken. But it's kind of more dancey, I think. It's not my favorite Chumbawamba stuff, although it is really interesting as far as dance music goes. It's kind of a clubby feel, but it's very anarchistic in a lot of ways. And there's quotes here pointing out, how, let's see, who was this? How John Lennon was a little bit homophobic. And so there's this whole song about homophobia, I think, on here. Maybe I can't remember. I've heard a little bit about this, but I'm going to dig into this and check it out. But I will give you some Chumbawamba needle drops in a bit. Now, this one I found at a yard sale right around the corner from my house recently. I was coming back from running some errands. There were these young guys sitting out with a table. I saw a little stack of records, maybe 10 records. So I stopped by. I got this for $3. This is the 5, 6, 7, 8 Teenage Mojo workout. They're kind of a garage, 60s garage style group of ladies and that rock. And I'm going to play some of this for you later. Pretty cool stuff. I couldn't believe I found this at a yard sale. You never find stuff like that at yard sales around here. So very cool. This was another gift from Ruined Records, who sent me the Mad Brother Ward single. This is the Trouble Seekers. And I think this is considered to be synth punk or something like that. I think it's kind of punky. This came out in 2022, limited edition of 200, again on Ruined Records. So we're going to be hearing some of this later too. So stay tuned for that. More vinyl coming at you. My boys, ANTiSEEN. This is a compilation called The Dawn of ANTiSEEN that looks at the years 84 through 86. I met them in 83, which I believe when they first started, 83. Changed my life. They taught me how to play guitar. They took me under their wing and took me to punk rock shows, and I still work with them. I do their website, and I just help them however I can. They're great guys, and totally changed my life. So we're going to hear some of this, which is called Destructo Rock. That is their own genre of rock and roll. You'll hear some Destructo Rock real soon, and maybe it'll change your life like it changed mine. Now, here are, to finalize this video, as a finale, before we get into the needle drops and the laser drops of the CDs, I want to show you a couple of gifts my friend Tim gave me, and they kind of go along with my weird record collection. Now, this is Joni Farkinson, Erkinson, Joni Erkinson, I think I don't know how you pronounce it. Joni's Song is the album. I collect other Joni records, and this is why. And because I just, there's something about Christian music albums, and they tend to have a lot of wheelchairs, people missing limbs, whatever, and I collect those. And so here's Joni's, I think this first album she put out, I've got Wheels. There she is with wheels and using those wheels. And then she's got another album here I found. This is kind of hard to find. Joni Spirit Wings, where you just barely got her ambulatory devices there in the shot. And good times here with Joni. So Joni, another album for my Joni collection from Tim Nolan. Thank you, Tim, my good friend, who gave me this. Now, the last record I'm going to show before we get to the audio samples is another gift my friend Tim gave me, and this, a record by Little MARCY. And if you don't know, I am a big collector of Marcy Tigner, a.k.a. Little MARCY, a.k.a. MARCY Records. It goes on under several different names. I have a big collection. There's a Little MARCY video on my channel you should go check out. It shows my entire collection as of, I don't know, a year or two ago, and it tells a little story about her, and it's really interesting. And so this is a MARCY record that I didn't have, and it's not like I didn't have this album. I had the album, but I'm a completist with MARCY. So if it has a different sticker, if it has anything different about it, I have to have it. You know, it's one of those things, those collector things. So here's, you know, another couple of versions I have of it, right? So you can see the $1.98 in the corner here, but here, weird, like, Sunshine Music, whatever sticker there. What is that? I don't know. And then there's this weird buy four, get one free or something sticker. And also, this is collector completist stuff. There's the label on that one. Okay. There's the label on that one. And then there's the label on this one, and they're all different. That's why I had to buy them all. Anyway, this is why I collect, and it doesn't make sense, but I do it. So let's get down to hearing some of this stuff, okay? Check it out. Okay, we're going to do some quick laser drops. On this SoapGirls CD, Calls for Rebellion, the song you're going to hear snippets of is called Champagne Cocaine. Here we go. There you go. All right, the next laser drop will be on this SoapGirls album, Society's Rejects, and the first track, Society's Reject, is the one you're going to hear snippets of. Here we go.
Get ready.
them, screw you. That's the laser drop on that one. Let's go to the next one. All right, next laser drop sample is from this album here, Elephant in the Room, a 2 CD set. The song you're going to hear is called I Stand Alone. Snippets of it, here we go.
Fuck you! I'll fucking find you! I'll break you! Die! There's no voice inside your spinning head. You're not going anywhere! I stand alone. Nothing you say will break me. You're caught out. Run, but you're drowning in your life. Bring me down. I stand alone. Nothing you say will shake me.
All right, cool. All right, the next series of laser drops will be on this CD here by Morgan Precom. You're going to hear snippets of track number 1 there. Okay, got it? Here we go.
I don't mind it's all out of sorts, like an old shoe.
All right, there we go. All right, next up for the CD laser drops is this CD here by Cyberchump, and we're just going to kind of skip through and give you an overview of some of the stuff on here. There we go. Next on the laser drops is this album by Fight Milk. You're gonna get just a random skip through of the tracks. All right, here we go. for you. Okay, I'm gonna do a little skipping through this Chumbawamba Anarchy CD right now.
Stop now, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Homophobia. Move over. And I always take over.
All right, laser drops coming up on this Electric Frankenstein album. 6 songs. Here we go. All right, there's a taste. And the final CD here, the Donnas. You know, I've just discovered that I like these musicians here, and I want you to check it out. Here's some snippets. Yeah, the Donnas. All right, some quick needle drops on this Lawson record from Finland. It is pretty experimental. Check it out. Let's check out the other side. That's fantastic. All right, on to the next one. All right, check this out. Needle drops on this flexi by the same artist. All right, check this out. That is some noise, man. I'm digging it. Okay, I'm gonna give you a snippet here of this record by my boys, ANTiSEEN. It's called Fight Like Apes. It's a picture disc. Here we go. Yeah. Yeah, fucking great. Let's try the other side. Sloppy Seconds. Just a little snippet. I like it. I like it. All right. Here we are, needle drops on Mad Brother Ward 7-inch, Ugly Life. Great stuff. Let's check it out. Yeah. Mad Brother Ward, everybody. All right, another flexi. This is really nutty, like lo-fi, noisy grindcore stuff. Crusade. Check this out. And I had to put a penny on this thing so that it played this flexi. It would not play the flexi. Here we go. Crazy. You see the needles skating across that thing? Hold on. It's impossible to play. Hold on. This is amazing. That sounds awesome. That is brutal. Fuck, that is brutal. I love it. All right, here we go. Needle drops on Nomas. Check this out.
used to have some. What fun we had.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm digging that, man. I'm digging it. Okay, now check this out. This Chumbawamba record, Pictures of Starving Children. I think you're going to be surprised. There's a wide variety of stuff on here, like I said, but check some of this stuff out. Badass, isn't it? I never expected anything like that from Chumbawamba. All right, needle drop snippets on Teenage Mojo Workout by the 5678s. Here are some quick samples. Next, we have the Trouble Seekers on Ruined Records. Check it out. Oh yeah, he's a whore. All right, Trouble Seekers. And now, again, my boys. ANTiSEEN changed my life in 1983 when I discovered them. And this is some of the earliest stuff that I heard when I was a kid, and I'll just give you some snippets. Check it out. Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna go to heaven when I die. Oh, I'm gonna go to heaven when I die. Not by words that I should glory, I be.
So there it is, everybody. My final finds video of 2022. Records, tapes, CDs, a reel to reel, for God's sakes. Thanks for everybody who contributed to that pile of stuff. If you sent me things or gave me things, and you know I appreciate it. May the rock and roll gods bless you all as they've blessed me. See you next time.